I never imagined that a single envelope slipped under my door would ignite a war in our picture-perfect suburb. But when I read the notice from Karen Beaumont, president of the Oakwood Grove HOA, demanding I pay $500 a day for unauthorized network interference, I knew my daughter Lily had just poked the bear. The bear being the woman who ruled our lives with a clipboard and a smile that could freeze hell over. Saturday mornings in Oakwood Grove used to feel like a postcard. The smell of fresh-cut grass, my wife Megan humming while she pruned her roses, and Lily buried in her laptop pretending she wasn't listening to us. I was halfway through edging the front lawn, sweat soaking my shirt, when that nasal voice sliced through the mower's growl like a dull knife. 2.5 inches exactly, Mr. Brooks. Article 4, Section C. You're scalping it. Unsightly. I killed the engine and turned slowly. There she stood in her signature beige pantsuit, helmet hair sprayed into submission, clipboard hugged to her chest like body armor. Karen Beaumont, HOA president, self-appointed guardian of property values, and walking proof that evil wears pastels. Excuse me, I said, though I'd heard every ridiculous syllable. Your mower deck is too low, she repeated, tapping her pen like a judge's gavel. It affects resale. Think of the neighborhood. She smiled the way a snake smiles right before it strikes. I looked at my lawn, green even alive. It looked like grass to me. It's my yard, Karen. Technically, she purred. It's our neighborhood. And I intend to keep it pristine. She scribbled, tore off the pink slip, and handed it over like a parking ticket from hell. $50. For mowing my own damn lawn. Megan appeared on the porch with iced tea, eyes already tight with worry. Karen's smile turned syrupy. Just a friendly reminder, dear. We all want the same thing. Happy neighbors and rising values. She said, happy like it was a threat. I crumpled the notice in my fist. This wasn't about grass. This was about control. And standing there in my driveway, I felt the line in the sand get drawn. Friday nights were sacred in our house. Popcorn popping, a dumb action movie queued up. Lily actually sitting between us instead of vanishing into her room. We hit play. 30 glorious seconds of explosions, then the spinning wheel of doom. Buffering. Again. Wi-Fi's been crawling all week, Lily muttered, not even looking up from her phone. I restarted the router. Same result. Lily's head popped up, eyes sharp behind her messy bangs. Hold on. Let me check something. She disappeared into her bedroom, mission control as we called it. 20 minutes later she came back out, face pale with a mix of fury and triumph. Someone's stealing 80% of our bandwidth. Rerouted before it even reaches us. Megan sat up straight. Who would do that? Lily crossed her arms. It's bouncing through a central hub. Physically close. Like Clubhouse close. She let it sink in. The HOA's smart community network isn't just monitoring. It's sucking us dry. And we're getting hit hardest, probably because Dad mouthed off about the grass. My throat went dry. Retaliation. Karen couldn't find me enough for the lawn, so she'd crawled inside our walls. Inside our home. That's insane, I whispered. Who's going to believe the HOA president is an internet pirate? Lily's grin turned sharp. We don't need them to believe it. We just need to lock her out. I should have said no. I should have called a lawyer. Instead, I looked at my wife, at my brilliant, stubborn daughter, and felt something hot and reckless ignite in my chest. Do it. Megan's eyes widened. Ethan. But Lily was already gone, keyboard clacking like gunfire. 10 minutes later she strolled back out. Done. 32-character password and a brand new firewall. Good luck, Karen. Across the street, in the glow of her tablet inside the beige clubhouse, Karen Beaumont's face went ghost white as her dashboard flashed red. Node disconnected. We'd won the first battle. But the knot in my gut told me the Queen of Oakwood Grove wasn't going to forgive. She was going to come back swinging. The victory lasted exactly 17 hours. Sunday morning I stepped outside to grab the paper and found a neon orange sticker plastered across my truck windshield. Final towing warning. Article 6. No vehicle on driveway longer than 12 consecutive hours. My truck had never left the driveway. I peeled it off, slapped it on the kitchen counter and growled. She's not even pretending anymore. Megan sipped her coffee, grim. This is because of the Wi-Fi. She knows. The rest of the week became open season. Monday, fine for recycling bins left out too early. Tuesday, citation for one dandelion daring to peek through the sidewalk crack. Wednesday, another orange sticker claiming our mailbox wasn't polished to community standards. By Thursday, the stack of pink slips looked like ransom notes. Then Friday brought the big one. Official letterhead, bold font, Karen's looping signature. Creation of a hostile and unapproved wireless network. $500 per day until disabled. I read it out loud, voice dripping disbelief. Hostile Wi-Fi. Is that even a thing? Lily snatched the paper. She's inventing language now. None of this is in the bylaws. We were already bleeding money. Megan rubbed her temples. She's testing us. Pushing until we break. I stormed across the street that afternoon. Karen was supervising landscapers planting only HOA-approved pink petunias. Enough, I barked. My truck was in my driveway. The bins were out the night before trash day. This is harassment. She laughed, that short, ugly bark. Harassment is such a strong word, Ethan. I call it diligent enforcement of standards you agreed to when you bought here. I stepped closer, voice low. This is about the Wi-Fi, isn't it? We cut you off and now you're lashing out. For a split second her mask slipped. Pure rage flashed in her eyes. Then the smile returned, colder than before. I don't know what you're talking about. But people who cause instability in this community tend to find life uncomfortable. It wasn't a threat disguised as advice. It was a promise. I walked home with blood boiling. Yelling wasn't going to stop her. She had the rules, the board, the fear of every neighbor who just wanted to keep their heads down. Unless we beat her at her own game, we weren't fighting for our lawn anymore. We were fighting for survival. That night I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes I heard Karen's voice. Life here becomes uncomfortable. Megan found me pacing the kitchen at 2 a.m. This isn't just petty anymore, I whispered. She's hiding something big. Why hijack the whole neighborhood's internet? Why come after us this hard? The idea hit like ice in my gut. When Lily came down the next morning, hoodie zipped to her chin, I slid the hostile Wi-Fi notice across the table. I need you to do something. And you're not going to like it. She raised an eyebrow. The clubhouse server, the one you locked out. I need you to ghost back in. Quiet. Find out what she's really doing. Lily's spoon clattered. Dad, I triple encrypted that firewall. Because this isn't about streaming movies, I said. She threatened me last night. She's using the bandwidth for more than revenge. I want proof. Megan stood in the doorway, arms crossed. Ethan, this is crazy. You're asking our daughter to break into a private network. Illegal is hijacking every house on the block. I shot back. Illegal is inventing fines that could bankrupt us. We need proof or she buries us. Lily leaned back, smirking. I can do it. But I'll need snacks. Lots of snacks. For 2 days mission control went dark. We heard keyboard clacking at 3 a.m., muttered curses, empty soda cans piling up. Tuesday night Lily stumbled into the living room, laptop clutched like treasure. You were right. It's not about us. It's about this. She flipped the screen. Lines of code, spiderweb maps of connections. They're not just stealing bandwidth. They're building a private mesh using every house as a node. Impossible to trace. And the code name, she tapped a key. One word blinked, shadow grid. Megan's face drained of color. A smokescreen for what? Lily split the screen. Live keystrokes from the clubhouse server. Another window showed chat logs the system had tried to wipe. Resk node 22, parents complaining about speed. SB keeper reroute blame provider. Brooks kid locked the mesh. Liability. Keep him busy. Our name. Right there. Then a second contact. H. Benson. Harold Benson, the meek treasurer who always nodded when Karen spoke. The room went silent. "He's not her puppet," Lily whispered. "He's the keeper. And they're moving the next set of drives tomorrow night during the annual budget meeting." Shadowgrid's secure handoff in his office. Megan grabbed my arm. "Ethan, this is FBI territory." Lily shook her head. "The second we show this to local cops, Karen twists it. She'll say I planted everything. I'm a teenager with a laptop. She's the HOA saint." She was right. I could already picture Karen crying to the board about the troubled Brooks family, waging war on community harmony. But doing nothing meant Karen kept her throne, siphoning our data and our money while we drowned in fines. I looked at Lily, 16, scared but alive with purpose. "You think you can get more?" She nodded. "But I can't do it from here. The servers are in the clubhouse. If I plant a physical logger on the rack, we get keystrokes, logins, file transfers, undeniable proof." Megan's gasp was immediate. "Absolutely not. You are not sneaking into that building." Lily's grin was razor sharp. "I wasn't planning on going alone." Both of them turned to me. That was the moment I realized we weren't just a family anymore. We were co-conspirators. I exhaled slowly. "If we do this, we do it smart. No cowboy stuff. We plan. We pick the moment. Anything goes wrong, we walk away." The plan was insane on paper, but it was the only one we had. Lily built a custom USB-sized parasite she called the Shadow Sniffer. Silent, undetectable, recording everything. To plant it, someone had to cross enemy lines. That someone was me. We spent 2 nights preparing. Lily drew the clubhouse layout from memory. Megan drilled me with worst-case scenarios until my head spun. Thursday night, the sniffer sat on Lily's desk like a crown jewel. 5 minutes inside, she said. Clip it to the rack, connect 2 wires, done. Friday night was cold and still. I dressed in black like a bad spy movie. Lily tucked the device in my pocket, hands trembling just a little. Megan kissed me at the door, lips cold. "If anything happens." "Nothing's going to happen," I lied. We moved like shadows across manicured lawns, Lily and I crouching low. Megan's voice crackled in my earpiece. "All clear. Karen's SUV is gone. She's at the district meeting." The clubhouse loomed beige and smug. Lily typed the keypad code she guessed, 0425, the date of the last HOA Beautification Award Karen had bragged about in the newsletter. Narcissism was her weakness. The lock clicked green. Inside, the air hummed with machines. Red motion sensor dots blinked. We crawled beneath the beams like statues, knees screaming. Finally, the server room. I picked the lock with the cheap Amazon set Lily had ordered. Hands shaking, one pick snapping. Second try, click. The rack glowed sickly green. Lily darted forward, opened the panel, clipped the sniffer, connected the wires. The LED blinked once, then steady green. "It's in." Megan's voice exploded in my ear. "Ethan, get out now, Karen's car just pulled in." I shot down my spine. We bolted, ducking sensors, scrambling through the main room. Headlights swept the windows. We sprinted. Burst into the night just as Karen's SUV rolled into her reserved spot. We dove behind the pine hedge, flattening against cold ground as her heels clicked past 10 feet away. She never glanced sideways. Back home, the adrenaline crash hit like a truck. Megan clutched us both. Lily rushed to her laptop. "The sniffer's live. We've got a direct feed. We'd done it." But the knot in my stomach tightened. Karen had almost caught us. If she ever suspected, we weren't just rule breakers anymore. We declared war. The sniffer fed Lily's laptop like a fire hose. At first it looked boring, meeting agendas, petunia budgets. Then the files appeared. Shadowgrid.cfg, seed wallet, harvest log. Lily split the screen. Live keystrokes on one side, traffic map on the other. Every blue dot was a house. Every router in Oakwood Grove was a node in their mesh. They're bouncing terabytes of encrypted data, identity records, credit cards, the works. Using meeting nights as cover so the traffic looks normal. Megan's face went pale. They're selling our data? Worse. Harold Benson is the real brain. Look. She pulled up Cash Chat. Resk, parents complaining about speed. ESP-keeper reroute blame provider. Brooks kid locked mesh. Keep him busy with fines. Then a vendor transfer form at the bottom. Signature. Harold Benson. All this time we thought he was Karen's lapdog. He was the kingpin. And tomorrow night at the annual budget meeting, he was handing off the next batch of drives. Megan grabbed my arm. Ethan, this is FBI territory. We can't chase this ourselves. Lily's fingers hovered over the keyboard. If we call local police, Karen spins it. I'm the hacker. You're the paranoid dad. They'll bury us. She was right. But doing nothing meant Harold kept harvesting, Karen kept smiling, and we kept paying. I remembered an old college friend whose cousin worked cybercrimes at the DOJ. One nervous phone call later, I was talking to Detective Daniel Harlan. 20 minutes of breathless truth. Shadow grid, the sniffer, the handoff. Silence. Then. If you're lying, you're in trouble. If you're not, a lot of bad people are about to have a very bad day. He gave me a time and place. Coffee shop 2 towns over. Bring the laptop. Come alone. The next morning I drove there with Lily's drive in a bag that felt like a bomb. Harlan and 2 agents waited. They read the files in silence, faces grim. Finally Harlan closed the laptop. Enough to move. Budget meeting tomorrow night. We embed agents as parents. You create the distraction. Get in Karen's face. Make everyone look at you. Give us 30 seconds of chaos. I swallowed. You want me to be bait? Perfect cover, he said. You're already the neighborhood troublemaker. When I told Megan and Lily, my wife nearly collapsed. They want you to walk into that room with him? Lily's eyes shone. It's the only way. He trusts noise. We use it against him. Saturday night, the Oakwood Grove Community Center smelled of stale coffee and desperation. Folding chairs, lukewarm cookies, parents griping about dues. Karen stood at the podium in another beige power suit, tapping her pen like a gavel. Beside her sat Harold Benson, meek glasses, silver briefcase at his feet. I spotted Harlan at the back disguised as a bored dad. He gave the tiniest nod. The meeting droned. Landscaping contracts. Mailbox flag height. Then Karen gestured to Harold. Treasurer will present the financial report. He cleared his throat. Dues have been used wisely, security upgrades, enrichment programs. A woman in a sharp suit handed him the briefcase. The handoff. I stood. My voice cut through the room like a knife. I have a question. Dozens of heads turned. Karen's smile soured. Questions at the end, Mr. Brooks. No, I said, stepping forward. The neighborhood deserves answers now. Why has my family been fined over $2,000 for made-up violations? Why was our internet hijacked? Why is money disappearing from these books? Gasps rippled. Karen snapped. You are out of order. I marched closer, voice rising. Or am I the only one willing to call this what it is? Theft? Extortion? Shadow grid? The code name landed like a thunderclap. Karen staggered. Harold froze. For one perfect second the entire room was silent. Then chaos. FBI. Nobody move. Harlan's voice cracked across the space as agents surged forward, badges flashing. Parents screamed. Chairs toppled. Harold dove for the briefcase. Agents lunged, but he was faster, until my neighbor Fred, the gun-home collecting retiree, stepped into the side exit clutching one of his ridiculous Elvis gnomes like a club. You told her to take my gnomes. Fred swung. The gnome connected. The briefcase skidded. Latches popped. Hard drives spilled across the floor like silver bricks. Agents swarmed Harold, slamming him down. Karen shrieked as cuffs snapped around her wrists. It was over in 45 seconds. I stood in the middle of the pandemonium, chest heaving. Harlan appeared beside me. You gave us the window. Good work. Fred grinned, holding his cracked gnome. Worth every penny. That was for Norman. By morning, the story was everywhere. Local news vans lined the street. Headlines screamed, HOA president and treasurer arrested in federal raid. Neighborhood data theft ring exposed. Neighbors who'd avoided me for weeks now crossed the street to shake my hand. The new interim board sent a check, full refund of every bogus fine, plus a handwritten note. Thank you. We won. I mowed the lawn that afternoon. No clipboard. No rules. Halfway through I caught myself grinning. Megan leaned on the porch rail with iced tea. Careful. You'll get a $100 fine for smiling too wide. Lily wandered out, laptop under her arm. The FBI asked if I'd consider an internship someday. She said it like she was talking about summer camp. Megan nearly dropped her glass. I ruffled Lily's hair. Just remember, no more building firewalls in the neighbors' basements. Weeks later, Oakwood Grove felt strangely quiet. The new newsletter was just bake sale flyers and teacher appreciation. No hidden fines, no threats. Karen and Harold were awaiting trial in orange jumpsuits. Property values were actually rising now that people weren't terrified. One evening I sat on the porch with Megan and Lily, watching the sun paint the lawns gold. My grass was half an inch too long. Nobody cared. It was just grass. But it was mine. And after everything we'd been through, I swore I'd never take that simple truth for granted again. So tell me in the comments, was Karen Beaumont really just protecting property values like she claimed? Or were my family the real villains for breaking a few rules to drag the truth into the light? Who was actually in the wrong here?